Alright, here we go. Mag is in a complete... Okay, so TLDW, this is from May 25th. So this is actually from 4... Wow. I thought this was from ages ago. This is from 4 days ago. Mag is in a complete Magnetize one trick now. No, she's not. Pool is pretty good CC. It can do some cool stuff with Magnetize. Not really. I disagree with that, actually. I feel like Magnetize is... I feel like Pool is... by itself kind of weird with like it doesn't. I don't really use Pull with Magnetize personally. Magnetize's interactions with projectile weapons is busted as ever, correct. Shield gaining means Mag's third ability is now a 1-up on key press, correct. Higher power strength potential, which comes from reduced requirement for survivability mods, boosts her performance overall. What? Higher power strength potential, which comes from reduced requirement for survivability mods. Oh, I'm not entirely sure about that one. Okay, here we go. Okay, what do you say? What if I told you Mag is a good frame? Well, I could have told you that ages ago. Well, you are correct. Yes, I know. Nice meme. I want to make a case for her otherwise. What is Mag good for? Everything. For a frame to be considered good, it has to have at least one niche that it excels in. Ooh, that goes completely against how I rate Warframes. I feel like for a Warframe to be good these days, this is how I do it. I feel like a Warframe that is good has to be a Warframe that is capable of doing everything to at least a level. A Warframe that is only good at doing one thing, Mesa, is probably, I wouldn't call good, because there's just so many Warframes that exist that are capable of doing so many things, Oberon, Harrow, Wisp, yada 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 yada, that a Warframe that is only good at doing one thing by itself, Mesa, is probably not good anymore, you know? Like, yeah, sure, she's great at killing everything, so if you want to just kill everything, awesome. But if you want a good Warframe, like Mag, you kind of want someone who can do everything. So, good defense against the argument of... Wait, that's a good defense against the argument of a better replacement. Okay? Inaros' niche is to be passively undying. Nidus is famously undying. Sure. You choose Nidus over Inaros for specific missions. Or not. Actually, no, I would choose Hildren. He isn't being replaced by Nidus, he is being contested. Right, because both of them are being replaced by Hildren. For Nidus to be undying, he has to be active. You have to maintain... Okay, cool, awesome. I guess all the Nidus mains would probably agree with that. Whereas Naris just sits there. Whereas Hildren just sits there. Like... Hildren is actually... I would say Hildren is actually least active when you have Arcane Barrier and Arcane Aegis, so... Hildren replaces both of them. Anyway, back to Mag. What if I told you Mag's niche is active survivability and DPS? And crowd control. Mag's first ability is... pulls enemies towards her, correct? Ragdoll on cooldown. On cooldown? Hi? Okay, pull directly increases your survivability. Depends on what you mean by survivability, I feel like. If you really want to count all crowd control as survivability in the sense that you don't die if they're too busy figuring themselves out to hit you, okay, fine. But then all Warframes have some form of crowd control, and therefore all Warframes have some form of survivability. That would mean that Banshee has a lot of survivability. Doesn't really flow with me, I feel like. Pull only rescue mission. Yeah, he's gonna pull everyone. It's gonna be easy. Nobody's gonna be able to hit him. Makes sense, right? It's just basically what I'm talking about. Do you count crowd control as survivability? If so, then all Warframes have a lot of survivability. So it really depends on how you It really depends on how you define survivability. I wouldn't define survivability as that. Her second ability is Magnetize. Really powerful weapon, obviously. He's evidently not using Magnetize Discharge. To each their own, I guess. What's that with just standard Lanka memes? Use a bow, use Exergus, and now that because we have shield gating, quote unquote, a third polarize is basically a one-up on key press, correct? Oh, he's running Vigor. It also strips armor. I wonder how much power strength he's running. Or they're running. I don't know if they are a guy or a girl actually. Finally, Crush, which is unequivocally garbage. Fourth ability when compared to others, but on low ability. You should try using Fracturing Crush. It actually makes Crush useful. This is why I use Fracturing Crush. Because you can strip armor. Even faster. Instead of using like 3 polarizers against a level 100 Bombard, you could actually just use 1 Fracturing Crush and 1 polarize. Need and... oh, hold on! Need power strength, power range. Sure. Don't need power efficiency. I do not agree with that one bit. If you're playing ESO, you really need that power efficiency. The only time you don't need power efficiency is A, if you have someone who's actually supporting you with energy and or energy orbs, so like a Trinity or a Hildren, or B, if you're going to be using energy pizzas. Why do they think that Mag doesn't need power efficiency? Power duration, I do agree with if you're not using something like Magnetize Discharge. You actually don't want to have that much power duration if you're not using Magnetize Discharge, simply because the Magnetize bubble is going to take bloody forever before it collapses and explodes. Power strength and power range is a notoriously difficult thing, mainly because of overextended. Yeah, but how much power range do you need? We are saved by the fact that you don't need power efficiency. Oh, you do need power efficiency. Okay, that means we can stack Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, and Intensify. That's overkill in my opinion, but okay. Yeah, that's overkill. That's overkill. Okay, so he's not running no power efficiency. He's running 105% power efficiency. And Prime Flow. What the fuck? Why Prime Flow? Why Prime Flow? That's the big question. I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. Why Prime Flow? I don't get it. Why do so many people run Prime Flow? Thinking that it is like this awesome thing that you can use that replaces apparently energy efficiency. Why use Prime Flow? Prime Flow is good. The reason why I say that is because unless you're spamming energy pizzas, generally speaking, Prime Flow, you can't really utilize Prime Flow on a Warframe that can't generate their own energy. I use Prime Flow on Rage Tanks, Garuda, definitely Garuda for obvious reasons, and other Warframes that can somehow spawn energy orbs. Like any Warframe that can actively control how much energy they're getting, whether it be from being a Rage Tank or whether it be from, like, you know, other stuff, I would use it. Whereas on Mag, if you run around a mission and there's no energy orbs, you're screwed. And now all of your abilities cost slightly less than normal amounts of energy. Right? Whereas if you ran Streamline, it doesn't matter if you have a smaller energy pool, who cares? It's not like the game constantly floods you with energy orbs unless you're playing like specific missions. I don't feel like Prime Flow is a good idea. This is why I never run Prime Flow on Mag. You have a look at the Mag build I have right now? Right? You have a look at the Mag build that I run, the 5000 IQ build. I'd much rather use Streamline over Prime Flow any day. Like, I only ever use Streamline, I don't use Prime Flow. Because Mag can't get her own energy orbs, does that make sense? Or rather, Mag is unable to produce her own energy. So, like I said, all whatchamacallit, all rage tanks, Garuda, Trinity, yeah, go for it. Because you can just actively get your own energy just like that. With rage tanks, it's slightly less active because you just stand there and you just let them hit you. Cool, awesome. But with mag, I don't think that's a good idea. Plus, your abilities are going to cost a lot more energy. Yes, you do get to use your abilities more if you happen to have a full energy pool from Prime Flow. But aside from energy pizzas, how often are you going to find 744 energy as mag? I don't think that happens all that much, TBH. I'd rather have a 263 energy pool, but know that all of my energy... Didn't I run out of energy? Yeah, see, here's the thing. I already ran out of energy in that survival mission. If I had Prime Flow, it would have made no difference. That actually... I feel like that goes to my point, right? Am I wrong? Have I been thinking about this wrong the entire time? I've never understood that. Anyway, let's move on. And yeah, like someone said, Arcane Grace, that's a bit of a weird one. I think Arcane... I mean, no. Arcane Grace is a bit of a... Wait, what the hell? Shield for... Wait, this build is different. Hold on. Okay, notice how it's 450 shield, but if we go back a sec... Wait, the build is different. 9... Wait, the builds are all different. Okay, I think he's about to... Or they... Oh... Sorry, never mind. It's several builds. Flow and Energizer more so on mag. Again, I feel like Streamline is a better option than Flow. Yeah, than Prime Flow. Okay, this is quite a go-to build with no energy duration. Sorry, no power duration rather. Oh! Okay, I have another problem with this build. How many of us feel like... How many of us feel like Counterpulse is really, really strong? Raise your hands. He says, not being able to see anyone. Because power duration affects Counterpulse. So having a longer Counterpulse is, I think, a much better idea. What we're seeing with these builds, these are like... at most, like, nuke builds. Definitely not something I'd recommend you do. No, I wouldn't really recommend this either. What we're seeing here, I feel like, are just magnetized builds. These are magnetized builds, tops. If you're running just magnetize, then yes, having extreme amounts of power strength, having extreme, well, not terribly extreme amounts of power range, having less than 100% power duration, these are all magnetized builds. This build offloads survivability to Polarize and Arcane Grace. Onto Polarize and Arcane Grace. I feel like Arcane Aegis would be a better one. You reckon this one looks like a Crush build? I don't think these are well, no, I don't think these are Crush builds. For one thing, even if you have 248% power strength, it doesn't matter. Crush doesn't do a whole lot of damage. The amount of damage that Crush does... okay, let's see. That's with 155, so it's... We can bring out the calculator. Okay, so 248% power strength, so that's 2.48 times, what is that, 1,500 damage? Is that 1,000? I can't remember. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4,500 damage? I think so. 4,500 damage. Right? Am I doing this correctly? I don't think so. crap. I've played Mag for so long and I don't remember how friggin' crush damage works. Oh, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Okay, let's have a look. According to the wiki. Hi? Okay, Crush deals 1,500 extra damage over three. Wait, what? Oh, it's 1,500. Oh no, never mind. It's 1,500 over 3 segments, guys. So it's just that 1,500. It's just that 1,500. So calculator. Here we go. So it's actually just 1,500 times 2.48. So that's a whopping 3,720 damage, and you do get to do like double that. Or rather, you do get to do that amount of damage as extra magnetic damage if a target happens to be in a magnetized bubble. 6,000 damage, 7,000 damage then. 7,000 damage. A level 100 corrupted heavy gunner. Let me have a look. Because I like to compare everything to level 100 corrupted heavy gunners. A level 100 corrupted heavy gunner has 72,877 health. We're not even talking about armor, just health. So it's like this guy said, crush as a form of damage is not good. He is absolutely correct. Crush by itself is not good. Fracturing crush, on the other hand, now that is good. Haven't played enough of her to know her fourth ability. Fourth ability I used least. This is interesting. Yeah. I don't... sorry, I may have said this already, but Aegis over Barrier. I feel like that's a better option. Because you're looking at a Warframe that has small amounts of health. Actually, no. Both of them are not particularly good on Mag. You have to use, like, friggin' redirection or Umbral redirection if that ever shows up. You'd have to use that on redirection or Umbral redirection if that ever shows up. This is not survivability, this is crowd control. And lots of damage. So I don't really agree with this being survivability. Is Mag's crowd control really powerful? Yes! You know what also helps with survivability in this case? Something called counterpulse. So, wait, why did he just polarize? Did he run out of things? Did he just randomly run out of bloody shields? That was weird. Actually, here's the big question. If he's running like a 2.4... If he's running a 248% power strength build times 400, he's stripping 992 shields per hit. Against a level 100 corrupted heavy gunner. Oh, shoot. Crap. Divided by... What was that? 992. He'd have to use Polarize 7 times. Alternatively, you could actually just use 1 Fracturing Crush and 1 Polarize. That'll do it as well. Alright, end of video. These are magnetized builds. 100%. These are all magnetized builds. Oh, here we go. About duration. Oh, there's a lot to read here. Basically, the lower the magnetized duration, the quicker you load the map. Correct? Not quite. The way it works, if the enemy you cast on the magnetized dies, it'll collapse on the expiration. Otherwise, it will just disappear. Correct. So you'll have 5 seconds of magnetize, and you'll use it every 5 seconds. Yada yada yada. I don't know what any. Oh, I don't. Anyway. Yeah, I don't really... Look, if you want to use... have you ever been one-shotted by a Kuva Hyeka and a Kuva Flood? Provided I have all of my shields, no. Because shield gating continues to exist. These are all magnetized builds. So no matter what, if you look at it from that point of view, if you want a magnetized build, these are probably like the most obvious magnetized builds in the world. But if you're looking for a mag build to unironically run mag with, I wouldn't look at these builds. They are builds that continue to leave Crush completely useless, as a distant observer quite accurately suggested. Yes, with these builds, yes, Crush is completely useless. Fracturing Crush is how Crush is actually useful. So, yeah. For whatever reason, he's not... Oh no, sorry. Because they're all low duration builds, Counterpulse is not going to be useful in any of those builds, because Counterpulse needs duration. You can crowd control a bunch of enemies for about 4 seconds, and that's not going to... No, with those builds, with like the 67% power duration build, that's probably going to result in like 2.5 seconds of Counterpulse. That's terrible. So yeah, those are my thoughts as a mag main myself. If you agree or disagree, hit me up in the comments or in the chat. And just for the sake of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!